obviously slower, but slashing and weapons won't work as well. Piercing weapons are not great, but blunt will fuck you up. How's my sword looking? Do I need to sharpen that? Nah, it's still alright.
May God give you help, sir.
And even though the map's so big, it feels very much alive. You'll run into random bandits out the way, little events going on. Just riding about and you're minding your own business. Shit is always happening. I don't even remember how to get into the swordman place, even though I broke into there.
We've got enough for everyone.
What is he good to hear?
It's in the back. It's in here on the other side of this wall on my left. Just need to go in there, collect the reward. Oh. Hi, sorry I took the weird way. What's up, Menhard?
Gepriesen sei der Herr.
Came as you asked, Menhard?
So, you finally got your way, eh, Menhard?
Ja, ja. It is a great feeling after all the effort. It is to a large extent your doing, Heinrich. Vielen Dank nochmal. In token of our thanks, recognition and Freundschaft, I wish to make you a gift of this Langschwert,
A longsword,
which I
huh?
received from my Meister in Frankfurt on the day I too became a Meister.
My word. Thanks a lot, Menhard. This is a great honor for me.
You have earned it. Do not lose this Schwert or bring shame on it.
You can count on me.
And that is not all. Listen well. I also agreed with Friedrich that we will do things richtig. In Kuttenberg, we will hold a great and glorious tourney every week.
Okay.
Offensichtlich, as I promised you, I can teach you the art of sword fighting from now on. I show you Meister technique of handling Langschwert. Then Arne show you the basic teachings of combat stance.
Okay.
Arne
Is this
learned
gonna
a
cost
lot
me
from
money?
me and mastered also other weapons than the Langschwert. He has much to teach you too.
Fuck yourself.
The art of sword fighting, you say?
Dude, stay inside the ring, both
What
of
kind
you.
of things can you teach me?
Alles. Langschwert and other weapons. Meisterschläge and technique. Oh,
I'd love to learn from...
good. I am glad to hear it. Do not be proud. Be modest. Pride will come back to haunt you in Gefecht and in life. Remember that auch.
What about
Guys! Guys!
How's he
Get
doing?
out of here!
Gut, Heinrich. Gut. The local apothecary and physician Albicus did an excellent job. Arne's eye all right. His sight come back. Only scar remain. Gott sei Dank.
I'm glad to hear that. A tourney? That sounds good. It will be here in the city.
Genau. It will be by the walls, near to our Fechthalle. One time each week. Always with Langschwert, sword and shield, and free combat in heavy armor. If you want to join, come to me. I write you down and tell you more about it. It will be good practice for you.
Okay.
And you can also gain good rewards and glory.
I like the
Thanks
sound of
for
this,
everything,
mate.
Menhard. I'll certainly come and see you sometime.
Good. One last thing. If you are in need of a bed, you can sleep in the loft. of our
Sweet.
Fechthalle. Bis bald, mein
I
Freund.
knew I liked you, Menhard. Is this sword better than mine? No. It's not. Okay. Well, to the horse you're banished. Oh, can't. The horse not nearby. Right, yeah.
God bless you, sir.
Thank you, and you. There you go. I won't sell that sword just on principle. So he has a new mission for me now as well. Okay, cool. But I want to solve this case. So let's continue on with it, shall we? Let's talk to Lumiere.
You silly doggy.
I'm thinking.
You better not be drunk this time.
Maybe a... What do you want a boat
The heck's his house? Oh, there you are. Actually, hold up. Always save. Plus, it's been too long since we last saved.
I found out some interesting things about those murders. Just like you said.
That's wonderful news. But wait a while. I promised Catherine we'd wait for her.
You know Catherine?
She came to see me soon after you did, and started asking me
Oh,
questions.
you couldn't let me just do it.
Just like you.
Will you send for her?
Oh, Catherine.
We're all here.
I hope nobody else shows up. How did it go?
I reckon I've found out all I can.
And do you know who the murderer is?
Not exactly. But I have a few ideas.
I've asked around a bit, and I have my own suspicions.
Is that so? See, I was trying to recall some more details, and I had someone come to mind as well.
Oh, I didn't do all this for nothing, did I?
Well,
Catherine, who do you suspect?
Well, I think it was that priest.
No.
Prokop.
Is he going to say
That's
William?
nonsense. It couldn't have been him.
Couldn't have. Then who do you think it was?
It had to be William.
Right. It's none of
Nobody
them.
else knew them all.
Ah, now you're talking nonsense. I'm sure William is innocent.
So I see we disagree. Too bad. We could have been done with it quickly.
Well, who do you think it was then?
I'm not entirely sure. First, I'll tell you what I found out, and then it might be easier for us.
Go on then. Starting with who?
Let's start with, from the top.
Let's talk about Yarka, the one raised by Father Prokop.
What did you learn about her?
Prokop didn't just raise her out of the goodness of his heart. He was actually her uncle.
Really? But he still could have killed her.
Yeah,
His own
true.
relative.
Why not? He's a priest. I'm sure he knows the story of Cain and Abel.
Prokop also admitted that he didn't know how to handle her, and perhaps he was too strict.
What do you expect from a Bible thumper? Man punishes and God forgives. It never occurs to them that if man didn't punish, God wouldn't have to forgive.
Well, maybe I wouldn't hold it against him. He really tried to make sure she was well taken care of. He wanted to find her a husband, too.
And did you learn who he found?
No. I think it fell apart when Yarka started rebelling. Yarka started working for the von Grolla family, where she remained until her death.
I was there to ask whether she'd given them any trouble, but they said she was always thorough and reliable.
Ah, so what's the story with von Grolls?
They're the one that
Very
did it.
wealthy and important family. The mother is quite devout, known to spend a lot of time in prayer. Old von Grolla's been sick for years. Can't even get out of bed.
So, who runs affairs?
That would be young Hendel. They say he's quite successful.
Before her death, I heard she often went to dances.
There's nothing wrong or surprising about that. But maybe she found someone there.
Exactly.
Maybe. Prokop was convinced that she went to see William. That was actually the only name he mentioned.
That doesn't mean anything.
It means she had some relationship with William, or at least knew him.
And now, most importantly, Yarka was pregnant when they killed her.
I didn't know that. Do you know for sure? So they gutted her.
To make it impossible to tell she was pregnant? I wouldn't be surprised.
May God forgive us.
Do you know who she was
Forgive
pregnant
us,
with?
forgive them.
Because if we know who the father is, we'll likely know who the killer is.
She didn't tell Prokop.
It had to be someone from those dances. Maybe William.
Prokop is convinced that she was murdered by that bard, William.
And I agree with him. I heard the daughters of important men come to see him. It even went so far he had to flee the city. And the moment he's back, there's another murder.
Really? But I found out you accused Prokop first, Lumir.
What? Why?
It doesn't matter. It was a mistake. And I paid for it.
And were you as sure then as you are now about William?
I don't think so. But he's a skirt chaser. If he got Yarka pregnant, then...
Perhaps. But why would he kill and mutilate her? He could have just run away.
But then he could never come back.
I'm sorry to hear that, Yep.
He could come back a year later.
Probably
when
things improve
have
for you,
died
mate, sorry.
down, the child would be born, the shame.
Just noticed
forgotten,
that 'cause I was so
and
focused on the
nobody would
story.
bring it up again.
I suppose that makes sense. That's all I was able to find out.
You still found out more than I did.
But it's not enough. We still don't know who the killer is.
But we can agree that she was killed because of her pregnancy, can't we?
Agreed. Somebody got rid of her to make sure nobody found out she was pregnant.
I'm sure William wanted.
William isn't the only man with a prick. And he
True.
certainly didn't use it to strangle her to death.
Such language. What are you trying to say?
That William isn't the only man in the city. It could have been anyone. And now we'll never find out.
I'm not saying it couldn't have been him. Though I don't think it was. It just seems foolish to only focus on him.
I suppose you're right. Let's forget it.
I managed to find Stanya.
Alive? You found her alive?
I did. Alive and well. Hiding with the charcoal burners.
So, she's not one of our victims?
Almost.
She is. She just managed to escape the killer. She said she was attacked on her way home from the baths. She heard somebody talking in a side street, but it was empty. But when she walked by, someone grabbed her by the throat and started strangling her.
And how did she manage to get away?
She was holding an empty pitcher, and she smashed the killer in the face with it. He either got startled or hurt, but he let her go.
Did she get a look at him? Did she take his eye out or something?
No, she didn't stop to find out. Just ran. Which is probably why she survived.
And what about the blood in the bedroom?
She cut her hand on the broken pitcher. She didn't stay in her room for long. She was still so scared that she grabbed her things and ran off to her beloved charcoal burner. She said she returned from the baths in the evening regularly, and somebody knew exactly which way she would take and where to wait for her.
You mean someone followed her beforehand to figure out where to ambush her?
Who knew that she went to the baths?
Everybody.
Apparently everyone in the tavern. She didn't hide the fact. She also said she was sure it wasn't Mole. He may be a pig, but the evening she ran home, he was in bed snoring. Well, according to Stanya, the murderer had a terribly strong grip. Her neck was bruised for almost a month.
Doesn't almost every man have a strong grip?
Not that strong, I don't think.
Depending on what they take in hand every day. A tankard, a quill, or a hammer.
Except none of our suspects are miners or blacksmiths, eh? According to Stanya, the murderer didn't say a word the entire time.
That's strange, right? I'd expect him to at least call her a whore.
The only word he uttered was when she smashed him in the face with the pitcher. He said Scheisse.
So, we're looking for a German?
Even I say Scheiße sometimes, and I'm not German.
Besides that, she also recalled hearing two voices in the alley. Someone was talking to the killer.
So we have a witness.
No,
Now, just to find him.
Or an accomplice?
exactly.
If I remember correctly, the other one must have seen the whole thing, right? And he didn't go to report it.
I asked Stanya if she knew Prokop. She said no.
Maybe she just doesn't remember him. Or he gave a different name, or...
I don't think Father Prokop is the type to frequent the worst tavern in Kuttenberg.
Stanya admitted that she knows William. He flirted with her and tried to get to know her better, but nothing came of it.
And that's probably why I wanted to kill her. And likely rape her before that.
Well, perhaps, but Stanya doesn't think so. She's sure it wasn't William, and no matter what they say about him, in her eyes he's a good lad. And that's all that Stanya told me.
I'm so glad that girl is alive.
Me too. At least someone's had a little luck. Does she want to come back, or will she stay with the charcoal burners?
I don't think she'll come back. She's so scared now they'll come back for her. She doesn't even
Plus,
leave
she's
the
in love with
house.
the charcoal burner. Why should she leave him?
Stena.
You found her? Is she alive too?
No.
Unfortunately, she's dead.
And where did you find her?
Pretty far away. Near the mill she used to sell things at. Someone caught her in the forest when she was coming home with a load of coin and killed her. I reckon she put up a hell of a fight. So the killer got nervous and ended things quickly.
So he didn't strangle or mutilate her?
She'd been lying in the woods for a long time, so I couldn't really tell. But he definitely didn't hack her up like the others. Judging by what her accomplice said, she robbed someone good. She had so much jewelry on her, she could hardly carry it. And what's odd is when she was murdered, the killer left her basket of valuables behind.
So I reckon he didn't kill her for the money.
She said someone followed her on horseback from Kuttenberg. She tried to lose him, but apparently wasn't able to.
On horseback? I don't suppose she described him, did she?
Only as a wealthy type who never got too close.
That doesn't fit in with the previous murders.
1 second, all of a sudden it will click for them.
Father Prokop came looking for Zdena and nearly cursed her on the spot.
What did he have in common with a thief?
He had also looked after her, but unlike Yarka, she ended up on the street, and he took it badly. Zdena tried to rob young von Grolle. It's possible she succeeded.
Von Grolle? Yarka worked for them, didn't she?
That whole family is suspicious.
Here we go.
Assumptions. Nothing more.
I'd say it's pretty obvious. Why else would I have found that ring on her?
They just left the ring by her body? That's odd, isn't it?
It wasn't by her body. It was inside of it. I don't know if she swallowed it herself or someone shoved it in her.
Oh, that's awful. But I can't say it surprises me.
My mouth is starting to hurt from all this blabbering.
So are my ears and head.
Come now, we're nearly there. We just need to find our suspect. So, Henry, who do you think did it?
Von Grolle.
I suspect one of the von Grolles.
What leads you to think that?
Are you sure it wasn't William?
Yarka was their maidservant until she started rebelling, right?
Yes. Do you think she was rebelling because of someone in particular?
Perhaps the young lord?
That's possible.
Alice had a young and wealthy suitor. And young von Grolle fits both descriptions.
True, true.
We could be getting somewhere.
Yarka was pregnant. And if the father was young von Grolle, it would make sense if he got rid of her.
I doubt
Sakura,
William would
You're
care.
right.
But William could have fucked her too. Just saying.
Yeah, but I don't think he'd kill her because she's pregnant. He'd just, leave.
Zdena was followed by someone on a horse. Von Grolle could afford a horse.
That's not so sure, is it? And maybe the horse was stolen or borrowed.
But it certainly worsens the case for him. That much is true.
Zdena robbed von Grolle.
That's true.
It's all coming together, isn't it?
And that's all I can pin on him.
So, do we agree that it was young Von Groll?
Well, old Von Groller can't do much now, can he?
So do we really agree that our most likely suspect is young Von Groller?
Aye. I agree.
I don't have a problem with it. Little rich boys are capable of anything. But what are we gonna do about it? Our suspicions aren't enough.
They'll just laugh at us without something more tangible.
So, you want to search their house?
Nothing
Oh,
else we
really? You
can
gonna send
do.
me in?
There must be a clever way to do it.
We have to find some evidence. None of our conjecture is enough. What will we do?
You could sneak in there.
Or break in?
Catherine, that's not necessary. The young lad wants to learn swordsmanship, and the old one is sick and always calling for a physician.
So I can either pretend to be a sawbones or a swordsman, or break in?
Okay.
That's a lot of options.
You're a clever lad. You'll figure
I mean,
it
I'm
out.
good at both. Thanks. Both of you are useful as a chocolate teapot, I swear. Right, I'll go solve this case on my own, will I? Jesus. Have that underneath, I think. Don't want to go to this house fully armored. Don't think it would look the best. Alright, where do they live? Just down the road? Alright.
Oh, it's you. Back already?
And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and man on the moon. I wonder if I missed anything that would have given them a, like, oh, it must be him. And I didn't have to break in. I'm pretty sure I got everything. Okay, don't sing. Rude. Okay, so his bedroom seems to be at the back. Sup, buddy?
Can I help you?
Is this the house of the Von Grolle family?
Yes?
Why's that got a star on it?
I'm Henry of Skalitz. Master Menhard from Frankfurt sent me to train young Master Hendel in sword fighting.
Oh, shit.
I'm sorry, but I know nothing about it.
Are you telling me I'm not expected? The Master Swordsman won't be pleased.
No, this is surely my mistake. Please, come in. Go to the courtyard. You'll have more than enough room there. I'll send the young master to you immediately. Farewell.
Okay. We're in. Wait, what gloves am I wearing with this set? Oh, the hunting ones? Oh, fine, whatever. Oh, you Handel? What's up, buddy? You murderous shithead? Was that his, accomplice?
I must admit that I didn't expect anyone so soon. Master Menhard said I'd have to wait a while for my lessons.
Well, that's true. But we had an opening, and Master Menhard immediately thought of you.
But of course. That's good. It doesn't matter. I'm actually glad it turned out like it did. At least Mother will leave me alone for a while.
What do you mean?
She's always trying to keep me at home. Says I go out with girls too much. She'd rather have me praying all day and night like her.
Well, maybe a sword fighting lesson will help you.
Maybe. But first I want to see if you have anything to teach me.
Okay.
Ready?
I'm not. I've only got a sharp weapon.
Really? You wanted to draw iron right away. Well, I can lend you one. But next time, bring your own. Sherry zum Teufel! Ha! And you wanted to teach me something?
What?
I'd sure like to know what. On second thought, maybe rather not. God knows.
What? Hold on, what just happened there? Was I backed up? What? What? I am confused.
Is...
Yes?
I'm Are you telling me?
No? See you soon, my friend.
Okay, am I just gonna have free roam of the house once I'm done with this? Come on, mate.
I must admit.
Oh, that's true.
Huh,
What do you mean?
she's always...
Well, maybe...
Maybe. Ready?
I'm not.
Really? Well... Sprich deine Gebete, Arschloch! Ha! Dummkopf!
Dummkopf?
Mein Gott! Hier!
Well,
Smack.
I hope the young lord is assured he has much to learn.
There we
from me.
go.
Yes,
Goofy bitch.
the young lord learned it the hard way.
And after a few lessons, you'll only get better.
I hope so. I know the basic steps, but lack the finesse. I admit.
Excellent. That's enough for today. But before I go, I'd like to ask you something. What type of weapon are you most interested in?
A sword, of course. It is fitting for someone of my standing.
That's a lot of peacock feathers in his hat.
And what about a cleaver? Or a hunting sword?
Pah. A cleaver is more fitting for some yokel or bandit. Or a butcher. And a hunting sword? My father used to have a beautiful one. I don't even know what happened to it. I wouldn't be ashamed of that one. But otherwise, they are for fat burghers and poor mercenaries.
And what about an axe? Have you ever held one?
No! Do you take me for a woodcutter?
Have you ever killed anybody?
What kind of question is that? Of course not.
I meant in battle.
How else could you have meant it?
Enough small talk. I want you to practice the basic posture. Nice and slow.
Yes, master.
I'll be back. This way? Ooh. That's a little easy.
What the hell? That's hair. All kinds of brown. I bet it belonged to those dead girls. If this isn't proof, nothing is.
Lady shoes. Why is that noble? Oop.
What are you doing here? You aren't allowed here. You'll pay me compensation for this, otherwise I'll call the guards.
I'm sure we can sort this out.
I won't have you causing trouble here. Cough up some coin, or a...
I sincerely apologize to you. I didn't behave properly.
Very well, then. Time to go.
Did I do what I have to?
Time to go.
I'm going, baby. I'm solid gum. Okay. If I hadn't gone for that second thing, I hadn't been greedy, but I thought there might be more.